Hey guys, Unknown Knight here. Today's video will be a guide on how to find the right engine on big oil. Okay, so I'm sure many of you felt the same way when you played big oil for the first time. Like, what the hell is going on? How do I find the right engine? And where are the clues? Before finally ending up using the big oil calculator that you can find online. But indeed, it is more satisfying to learn how to find it on your own. So let's start. Let's first talk about the engine itself. There are three components to the engine: the type of gas, the pressure, and the number of hoses used. Each of these components have three variations each, except for pressure, which has only two. And to determine which variation is chosen via RNG, we'll need to hunt for clues. Alright, so for the three different engine parts, they will always be scattered inside the house, so you don't have to hunt for them outside. For the gas and hoses clues, they can spawn both in the house or in the lab itself, while the pressure clue will always be in the lab. And lastly, the clues will never be in the server room locations. Let's take a look at the gas part. So there will be three different types of gases used. We have deuterium, helium, and nitrogen. And using the whiteboard, we will be able to decipher the color of the gas tank, either blue, yellow, or green. The gas tanks are always slanted, so don't confuse this with the tank with hoses, which is always upright. And for the hoses, the engine is hooked up to a blue upright tank, which has three nozzles poking out of it. And for the clues, we simply have H, 2H, or 3H. You should see where this is going. Of course, I want to remind you not to confuse H and helium. I do that sometimes when I go too fast, so watch out for that. And lastly, we have pressure, which shows up either as a more than or equals to 5783 or less than or equals to 5782. Let's compare those to the engine. You'll notice that the pressure gauge on the engine is in bars while the computer is in PSI. We don't really have to worry about that. Just remember either more or less on the computer and compare it to more or less than 400 on the pressure gauge. So at this point in time, you may ask, why do we have a 400 bar pressure then? Well, it used to be possible to have the 400 pressure engine, but it was removed later, so things are simpler now. Oh, and one more thing. I want to caution you that it is possible to break the PSI computer, so be careful with explosives in the areas above the lab. Otherwise, you will have one less clue to work with. And before we finish up, here are some extra tips. On day 1, you may have picked up intel on the table, which can be guard intel, shutter codes, or cold fusion research. When you get the cold fusion research, it will always be deuterium and 3H or 3 hoses. So you only need the final pressure clue of more or less than. Also, when facing the whiteboard in the lab, all engines in the left room have 3 hoses. The first row of 2 engines on the right have 1 hose only, while the remaining 4 engines have 2 hoses. And not really a super tip, but still something good to know. Okay, this next tip has nothing to do with finding the right engine, but rather being able to read the clue itself. Because these clues are textures, when your game settings for textures is too low, due to lower end computers, I totally understand, you'll be unable to read them properly, so you might want to watch out for that. There's also a mod that allows these clues to be in high resolution while the rest of the game is in low. If I'm able to remember where I saw it, I'll post it in the description. And lastly, always bring a flashlight gadget. The damn cloakers like to turn off the light even after the lab door is open. And you'll definitely need to work in the dark. And now here's a quick example to recap what we've learned so far. Okay, so right here I found the clue for deuterium. And again here, we have the clue for 3H, so that leaves the pressure clue. Which right here, we can see that is less than. So with all 3 clues combined, after looking at a whiteboard, which is blue for deuterium, we'll need a 3H, which is in the left room, a slanted blue can, and a less than 400 bar engine. And now that we know how to decipher all 3 clues, we can pick the right engine.
Mr. Dr. Fantastic, sir, you nailed it. That is some science. Well done, team. Get your big brains out of there. Use the plane.
Or wrong ones if you are going for Dr. Miserable. Alright, and after learning from this video guide, you are now officially a pro at finding the right engine in Big Oil. Thank you for watching. I hope this is useful for you, so stay tuned for more guides and gameplays. I'll leave the video running with all the available clues and engine variations so you can have a closer look. Until my next video, this is Unknown Knight, signing off.
Damn it, the alarm! The whole house knows you're coming now.